Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. We simply spin a wheel with all the teams' names on it, then spin an arrow to see what direction they will take from their place on the map. Landing on another team's territory will give us that game. For a more thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, be sure to check out the beginning of our initial video of the 1966 season. That is linked down in the description below. Beneath that is a link to the imperialism playlist consisting of all completed imperialism seasons to date. Otherwise, we are ready to start. We've arrived at the infamous 2020 NFL season, which was indeed played to its conclusion without a single game getting cancelled, but the season itself was certainly not played under equal circumstances. Whereas some teams were forced onto the field with many of their core players needlessly kept out of the lineup, other teams were given postponements. This represents just some of the inconsistencies. Players miss games for a variety of reasons, that's just the nature of football. But the advantages gained in those type of situations this season were decidedly not within the nature of football. That's why we have this well-deserved asterisk on this season. Regardless, as we said, the season was played to its conclusion, and that conclusion saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 55. Incidentally, the Super Bowl was held in Tampa's home stadium. Normally that wouldn't be an issue, but NFL protocols did not allow the Chiefs to travel to Tampa when Super Bowl competitors normally would, rendering them as a true road team in what is supposed to be a neutral site game. Tampa was also by far the healthiest team in the league and, probably not so coincidentally, the least affected all season by those so-called protocols. That will explain their number one ranking this season, with the Chiefs missing out on the top 5. The Bills and the Ravens represent the AFC here, with the Packers and the Saints rounding things out. These rankings reflect how the season played out, but in imperialism, every team will have their full rosters in place for every game, except for players who opted out of the season and did not play at all. That has an incredible chance of shaking things up as they compare to the rankings. Sorry for the long intro, but there is some quick map business to discuss as well. The Oakland Raiders are no more. They are now the Las Vegas Raiders, thus the Raiders occupy Nevada on their own, while California now has a three-way split with the remaining teams. Also, the Washington Redskins became the Washington Football Team. For the next 2 seasons before taking on their permanent name, Redskins will still appear on the wheel and on in-game displays, but we went ahead and changed the logo for the map. Oh my, thank you so much for sticking through that. It is officially time to get 2020 imperialism underway. And our very first spin of the wheel is going to get the champs on the field. The Buccaneers are going to dip to the southeast. They're heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Miami defense forces a 3-and-out to start the game. The Buccaneers are trying to get this ball punted, but it is blocked and picked up by Miami. Devontae Parker will score a touchdown, and just like that, the Dolphins have jumped out to a 7-0 lead at home. Tampa Bay's Keyshawn Vaughn is back to receive the next kickoff. He's trying to do something with this, but he does it wrong. That ball is loose. The Dolphins are going to pick it up and get a field goal out of it. They've gotten the ball back, and Lynn Bowden makes this catch downfield, gets it to the 3-yard line. It's still 10-0, but Tua Tagovailoa is going to run it in himself to make this a 17-0 game. Tampa's going to have plenty of time to make a comeback here. Still in the second quarter, they finally got the ball moving. From the Miami 39, Ronald Jones will take the handoff. He breaks a tackle, gets past the safety. He's crossed the 10-yard line. They've got a hold of him, but he breaks that tackle too and gets in for the score. That's going to cut the Miami lead down to 17-7, but they add a field goal before the end of the half. Now leading 20-7, facing a 2nd and 20. Tagovailoa looks downfield, floats it up for Mike Gesicki, splits the defenders after he makes the catch, gets it into field goal range. That's exactly what Miami gets here. Tampa's desperate for the comeback here in the fourth quarter. Tom Brady tries a quick hitcher to Chris Godwin, but Xavier Howard's there for the interception. Miami is going to tack on yet another field goal, and with little effort here, they beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-17. I guess this is what happens when every team is at full strength instead of just one. The Dolphins will take over the Buccaneers' territory thanks to their huge defensive effort, which included 2 interceptions and 6 sacks. Right back at it now. The wheel's going to land on the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to get a photo finish here that does not hit the territory of the Eagles. Instead, the Bills will be heading over to face the Giants. Buffalo lead 21-14 in the third quarter. Off the keeper, Josh Allen's going to pick up some good yardage here, dragging himself past the 50-yard line, but he gets knocked out of the game. Is a 7-point lead enough for the Bills to protect? Matt Barkley is coming in after an incomplete pass on first down. This play action fake goes deep to Stephon Diggs. Perfectly passed. Diggs makes the catch, runs it in for the touchdown. Barkley delivers for the Bills in a big way. Diggs does get the score, and if 21-14 was enough, 28-14 was certainly enough. The Bills will win this game 38-21. Buffalo does have an excellent team, but they probably want to rely on having Allen the rest of the way. They got away with it in this one, though. They will take over the Bills' territory as their invasion was successful. The Steelers head east but dip south enough to hit the Maryland Panhandle. That's going to give us a big rivalry game with the Steelers at the Ravens. Given Baltimore's 3-4 defense, we have placed them in uniforms of the Green Bay Packers. The Ravens already lead 14-0 but are looking for more. Lamar Jackson looks like he's going to pass, but he takes off from the pocket. He's too fast for the Steelers' defense. He runs it in for the score, and the Ravens have jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Pittsburgh tried chipping away, but they didn't have enough, and there wasn't enough time, and the Ravens win this one 21-13. We were used to seeing the Steelers win at least one game in every Imperialism, but this is the third time in 4 seasons they've been one and done. The Ravens will take over their territory, giving themselves opportunities to face a whole bunch of different teams now. We're getting a close call on the wheel here. It just passes the Bengals and hits the Dolphins. No reason to spin the arrow. They're heading to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. In the second quarter, the Jags already trail 14-0, looking to get something going. Gardner Minshew tries Xavier Howard. Not a good idea. His second game in a row with a pick, but this time he's taking it back to the house for the touchdown. The Dolphins have jumped out now to a 21-0 lead. The rest of the game remained fairly steady. The Dolphins were never in any kind of danger. They win it 31-14. The Dolphins have played 2 games this season. In the first one, they took out our number 1 ranked team. In the next one, they took out our bottom ranked team. With that said, they will take over the Jaguars' territory, and the state of Florida is all theirs. After a round of expansion, the Falcons have burrowed their way into North Carolina. They're heading on the road to take on the Panthers. Atlanta has it first and they're making good headway. From the Carolina 23, Matt Ryan looks to Calvin Ridley, makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown Falcons. They've gotten out to a 7-0 lead. Carolina's looking to tie things up really quickly. They've moved it to Atlanta's 12-yard line. They've got Teddy Bridgewater under center. He drops back, looks for DJ Moore. Touchdown Panthers. They have indeed tied things up at 7 apiece. That's it for the first quarter. We now head to the second quarter. It's the Falcons' ball. They're at their own 27-yard line. Matt Ryan is scanning the field, goes for Russell Gage, makes a great catch, shakes his defender a couple of times, gets down inside the 40. That leads to a Falcons field goal. Now trailing 10-7 in the third quarter, Carolina have it at the 30-yard line. Bridgewater holds till the last second, gets it off to Robbie Anderson. He's fighting for more yards, but he can't get them. This will also lead to a field goal. We're now tied at 10 apiece. Still in the third quarter at the edge of midfield, Todd Gurley goes up the middle, breaks a tackle, and showing some of that old juice. He got a hold of him at the 29, but he breaks the tackle, and another finally gets down inside the 20. This leads to yet another field goal. It's 13-10. In the fourth quarter, Carolina's on the move. From their own territory, Bridgewater goes across the middle. Robbie Anderson meets the ball. He's running it inside the 10-yard line. The second time, he's taken down inside the 5, and the second time it leads to a field goal. We are tied at 13 in the fourth quarter. The Falcons don't want to settle for 3 anymore. Hayden Hurst gets this first down and quite a bit more. He's taken down at the 40-yard line. They have now moved it to the 36-yard line. It's third down. Matt Ryan out of the shotgun. Looks, throws for Ridley, makes the catch and gets away. No field goal here. Ridley turns on the Jets and gets it into the end zone. The Falcons have now taken a 20-13 lead. Carolina have the ball, but time's not really on their side. 1:24 left in the game. Bridgewater drops back, goes for DJ Moore, makes a diving catch in midfield. That'll mitigate the time issue somewhat. And on the very next play, 1:12 to go. The rush comes, but he gets off the pass. Robbie Anderson makes a diving catch inside the 30-yard line. They're down 7. No more settling for field goals here. We've got 40 seconds left in the game. Bridgewater is in the pocket, but he's grabbed by Michael Walker and taken down for the sack. Huge play there for the Falcon defense. 28 seconds now remain. Bridgewater's going to look toward DJ Moore in the end zone. The pass is off, but it's incomplete. So there's now only 13 seconds remaining. This is probably the last play of the game. Bridgewater's going to try more once again. This time he makes the catch for the touchdown with no time left on the clock. The Panthers are going to kick this extra point and send this game into, oh no, it looks like they're going for 2. What a gutsy play here, especially at home. There's literally no time left on the clock. This is going to be it. Bridgewater will drop back. They've lost DJ Moore. The pass goes to him. The 2-point conversion is good. What a crazy ending to that game. The Panthers win this one 21-20. In situations like these, the old adage has always been to go for the 2 on the road and to play for overtime at home. The Panthers turned that one upside down. They will take over the Falcons' territory, and after a thrilling game like that, we got to be curious to see what they have in store for us the rest of the way. This is a very close call on the wheel. It's just going to miss the Eagles, but after it lands on the Ravens, the arrow will not miss them. The Eagles will be hosting the Ravens. The Eagles are backed up in their own territory in the second quarter, trailing by 7. Miles Sanders gets the pitch, but Deshaun Elliott knocks the ball loose. One safety forces the fumble. The other safety runs it back in for the touchdown. That was Chuck Clark getting the scoop in 6. This was part of a big second quarter for the Ravens. They put 21 unanswered points on the board, and they win this game 34-9. The Eagles won't quite be finding their footing until the 2021 season. Until then, the Ravens will take over their territory, and they have eliminated both Pennsylvania teams. Once the border between the Titans and the Panthers became more prominent, we did change the background for the Panthers into gray. None of that's going to matter right now because that's our next game. Tennessee heads to Carolina. We had some fireworks in the first half. A.J. Brown's going to catch that touchdown. Mike Davis is going to get it in from the 2-yard line for the Panthers. A.J. Brown gets it again, but this time on a reverse, and he's able to maneuver his way back into the end zone. And now Carolina gets it to DJ Moore. So we're tied at 14 in the third quarter. From the Titans' 40-yard line, the draw play goes to Mike Davis. He's got the first down, but the ball is loose, and the Titans are able to recover it. From here, they've got a drive going. They're at the Carolina 23-yard line. The play action to Derrick Henry turns into a pass to Derrick Henry, breaks a tackle, and hurdles another tackle. This is a tough man to bring down. Touchdown Tennessee. They lead this game 21-14. Carolina is now going to take their turn. It's their time. It's the fourth quarter. From their own 35-yard line, this pass goes to DJ Moore, makes the catch. The Titans defense isn't there to be found. I don't think they're going to catch him. Touchdown. DJ Moore keeping his torrid imperialism alive. That's going to tie this game up at 21. Now Tennessee have it. They're at 3rd and 13. Can the Panthers defense come up with a stop? This is play action to Henry. The pass to Henry. We've seen this before. He breaks a tackle at the 30, gets away from another couple tacklers, and he's done it again. His second touchdown catch of the game. This one from 57 yards away. The Titans have taken a 28-21 lead. Carolina on the comeback trail from their own 34-yard line. Bridgewater goes deep to Moore again. He makes the catch. Someone needs to get on this guy. He will get away from that tackle, but Tennessee have grabbed a hold of him at the 4-yard line. On first down, the handoff to Mike Davis gets completely stuffed. On second down, the draw to Mike Davis. They're trying to make sure Davis gets this ball. Third down, they try him again, and he gets stuffed again. So after all that stubbornness, here on fourth down, they're going to pitch it to Davis again. Looks for the edge, but can't find it. 4 straight stuffed runs. Tennessee now have it. They're trying to put it away. The crosser goes to Brown. He makes the catch. Under a minute to go, gets the ball past the midfield. Tennessee's able to run the clock out from here. They win it in Carolina 28-21. That deep in your opponent's territory, in general, it's not a bad idea to run the ball, but Mike Davis is no Marshawn Lynch. No offense to Mr. Davis. The Titans will take over their territory, and after the Dolphins have already won 2 games, they've now put themselves back in a position where if the wheel lands on them, we have no reason to spin the arrow. They're now and temporarily known as the Washington football team. It's going to be Washington on the road against the Ravens. Late in the first half, Washington is punting, trailing 14-10. The Ravens come after it, but they can't get a hand on it. James Proche is going to take this from the 28-yard line, getting himself a decent return, but he will fumble the ball, and Washington will recover. They're getting a nice run back inside the 20-yard line. The Ravens are finally going to get him down here. That's going to lead to this touchdown pass from Alex Smith to Logan Thomas. So Washington's going to enter the second half with a 17-14 lead. The Ravens are in trouble here, not only trailing, but facing a 3rd and 18. Lamar Jackson throws it to Marquise Brown. That's just enough yardage to pick up the first down. They've now got it down to 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. Jackson hangs in the pocket, looks for Brown. Once again, the coverage is too late. Touchdown Ravens. They've retaken the lead here at 21-17. Washington can do nothing with the ball, so the Ravens have it back from the Washington 29-yard line. Lamar Jackson's going to keep it, and more often than not, that's an excellent idea. He's able to streak into the end zone, for the touchdown. The Ravens now lead by 2 possessions. It's 28-17. Washington has a chance to come back here, but time isn't their ally. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. Alex Smith, coming off that shattered leg, is still going to scramble and pick up some good yardage. Gets it down inside the 10-yard line to the 6. That's going to lead to this Smith touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin. So there's still some time left in the game. They go for 2 and miss, but it's still going to be dependent on the onside kick. Dustin Hopkins is going to lay it down. The Ravens try to surround the ball, but they can't recover. Washington has a chance, but they've quickly fallen down to 4th and 19. Smith is going to look short to Logan Thomas. That's not getting it done. The Ravens take over possession, run out the clock, and win this one 28-23. Washington was only 7-9 this season, but they were able to win the NFC East and make it to the playoffs. Baltimore was able to handle that business though. They will take over their territory, and the Ravens have already notched their 3rd victory this season. After all that expansion, we're finally getting a game. The Browns at the Colts. Cleveland leads by 10 in the 3rd quarter, and they have a 1st and goal. Baker Mayfield is going to drop into the shotgun, quickly fires to Kareem Hunt, a great receiver for a running back. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown Cleveland. They get up by a score of 24-7. It was back and forth from this point. The Browns are able to take this one down 38-20. And with that victory, the Browns are going to take over the Colts' territory, and now their territory kind of looks like a Pac-Man with the Bengals clearly in their sights. This is our 55th Imperialism, but there's still room for firsts. The San Francisco 49ers take to the road in Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. The Raiders hold a lead in the 2nd quarter, but they're backed up in their own territory. Derek Carr is going to flip this pass to Darren Waller. He makes the catch. Several 49ers have a chance to get him down. He keeps breaking tackles. He spins away, and he's going to take it all the way to the house for the 78-yard touchdown. That will leave the Niners shell-shocked. They trail 14-3 at this point, and they can't come back into this one. Vegas wins 31-17. What a way for the Raiders to open up their account in their new city. They will take over the 49ers territory, and we've now eliminated 10 teams this season. We brought it up earlier, and now it's come to pass. The wheel lands on the Dolphins. They're heading to Tennessee to face the Titans. We're scoreless in the 1st quarter, but Tennessee's on the move. Derrick Henry takes the handoff up the middle. He's untouched, spins away from a tackler, and gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. They have gotten out to a 7-0 lead. Miami is going to look to respond. They've driven it down to the Tennessee 36-yard line. Tua Tagovailoa looks downfield, goes to Jakeem Grant, makes the catch. He's inside the 5-yard line, but he gets taken down at the 3. After getting knocked back, Jason Sanders is going to come out for this 28-yard field goal. It's not a thing of beauty, but it goes in, so it's now 7-3. We're still in the 2nd quarter. From their own 20-yard line, Henry takes the handoff off left tackle, breaks a tackle. He's getting out past midfield. He has been the Titans' offense in this game. They're well within scoring range now. On the next play from the 33, it's Henry up the middle, breaks a tackle. The Dolphins are giving chase. They've got a hold of him at the 8, but he gets away again. Derrick Henry is a cheat code. The Titans now get ahead by a score of 14-3. There is still a little time left in the half, 28 seconds to be exact. Tua looks like he wants to take a shot downfield. Mike Gesicki breaks free. He makes the catch. Does he have the speed to get into the end zone? No, they catch him as time expires, so that was all for naught. Will that come back to haunt them? Tennessee has the ball here with a chance to put it away. Lots of movement from both teams. Tannehill's going to try to scramble, but Jerome Baker strips him of the ball. Tannehill has a chance to recover, but cannot, and Miami will pick it up instead, breathing new life into the Dolphins. They set up shop at midfield. Tua is going to once again look for Gesicki. He makes the catch. No threat of scoring here, but he does get it down to the 20-yard line. The Dolphins are settling for another field goal. This is 33 yards from Jason Sanders. The first one was shaky. So is this one, but it goes in. They're not putting these in museums or anything, but it is 14-6. Khalif Raymond takes the ensuing kickoff, getting himself a nice return, gets past the 40-yard line, but he will also fumble. Tennessee's fumbled the ball the last 2 times they've touched it. Can the Dolphins finally break through to the end zone? From the 7-yard line, Tua finds a receiver. It's Devontae Parker for the touchdown. Miami finally breaches the end zone. It's still in the third quarter, so they kick the extra point and trail by 1. The Titans have moved the ball to the Miami 40. They seem to have abandoned the running game, but A.J. Brown is still a good guy to get the ball to. They're now inside the red zone. We've switched sides in the fourth quarter. Steven Gostkowski comes out for a 28-yard field goal, but he will miss it. They'll take Sanders' kicks barely going in all day over that. But Tennessee's gotten the ball back, again looking to air it out. Tannehill finds Corey Davis, and he takes a short catch, turns it into a big gain, getting just on the other side of the field in Miami territory. On the next play, this is play action up the middle to Henry, and we've seen this before. The pass to Henry works, and he fumbles. Eric Rowe knocks it out. Oh my goodness, the third lost fumble for the Titans. Miami now has a chance. A minute and a half or so left to go. Myles Gaskin gets the draw, and he gets it into Tennessee territory. They're knocking on the door of field goal range. A minute 6 now remains. They're probably about 15 yards away. Tannehill is going to look for Lynn Bowden, makes a diving catch, certainly in field goal range now, but the offense remains out on the field with 29 seconds to go. From the 7, Myles Gaskin has the edge, but the Titans get him down. 19 seconds remain in the game. As the clock ticks away, they will bring Sanders out for a field goal. He's made 2 short ones already. This is from 22 yards. Can he make a third? It is up, and it is good. They were all horrible-looking kicks, but they all went in, and that's enough for the Dolphins to steal this game away, 16-14. NFL kickers get nothing extra for putting the ball right through the uprights. Jason Sanders went 3 for 3. They weren't pretty, but they were good. The Dolphins will take over the Titans' territory, and they're on quite the roll now. 11 games have been played in this Imperialism. They and the Ravens have combined to win more than half of them. The Ravens expanded into West Virginia, and the Bengals have met him there. Let's see how good an idea that is. Cincy trails in the third quarter, but they're in Baltimore territory. They run out a pitch to Tyler Boyd, cuts to the outside and cuts back in 2 more times, showing the moves there as the third quarter comes to an end. The Bengals are in this game. They're only down 21-17. Can they get a stop here? The Ravens have driven it to the 25. It is 2nd and 20. Lamar Jackson looks downfield for his tight end Mark Andrews, shields off the defender and catches the ball right past the goal line. Every time the Bengals tried to make a comeback here, the Ravens put them down. It was a valiant fight, but Baltimore wins 28-17. 12 teams have been eliminated in Imperialism this season, and the Ravens have eliminated 4 of them on their own. They will take over the Bengals' territory, and if they keep winning like this and getting called onto the field as often as they are, they're going to threaten the single-season win record in Imperialism. It's time to get some new teams on the field. The wheel lands on the Houston Texans. They go northeast to take on the New Orleans Saints. With the Texans running a 3-4 defense and the Carolina Panthers eliminated, we're going to dress them up in their uniforms. The Saints offense has been struggling. They trail 10-7 in the third quarter. On a 3rd and short, this is play action. Drew Brees looks downfield for Emmanuel Sanders, makes the catch, avoids the tackle. He's not the fastest receiver in the world, but he gets away from the defense and runs it in for the touchdown. Later in the third, a deep pass to Sanders again, and again he gets away from the defenders. The Texans defense is tackle averse. This third quarter show by Emmanuel Sanders puts New Orleans up 21-10, and they keep it going in the fourth and win this game 28-13. The Saints were looking like they were in a little bit of trouble there, but they were able to pull it out. They will take over the Texans' territory, slicing their way into the state of Texas. We're again ready for 2 new teams to take the field. The Chargers are selected on the wheel. They head to the northwest. The Battle of Los Angeles is ready to begin. In the first half, Robert Woods goes up to make this jump ball touchdown catch, and then Cooper Kupp will do the same. Both come off the hand of quarterback Jared Goff. The Rams jump out to a 14-0 lead, and they shut it down. The Chargers don't score a point. The Rams win 34-0. It might have been expected for the Rams to win this game, but the manner in which they did it was a bit surprising. They will take over the Chargers' territory, and they now own Southern California. How about 2 more new teams? It is time to spread the love around here. The Packers are heading to the southeast. We're getting a divisional matchup here. Green Bay at Detroit. The Pack lead 14-3 and they're deep in Lions territory. Aaron Rodgers breaks free from the pocket and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. That's going to extend their lead out to 21-3. They add a field goal in the fourth quarter and they cruise to a 24-3 victory. Not much to see here in this one. The Lions were no match for the Packers. Green Bay will take over their territory. And we're finally starting to see some action now in the Midwest. We got in another round of expansion. Now we're ready for our next game. The Saints were chosen with the arrow pointing straight north from the center of their logo. That's going to catch the territory of the Dallas Cowboys. The Saints offense is picked up right where it left off in its last game. Up 14-7 in the second quarter, Drew Brees finds Traquan Smith on the crosser, and he strides into the end zone for the touchdown. New Orleans leads 21-7. They had a 20-point lead at halftime. The Cowboys made some noise in the second half, but never got it within 1 score. The Saints win this one 37-28. It's offensive performances like these that can catapult the Saints to the Imperialism title this year. They will take over the Cowboys' territory. We started with 32 teams. We're now halfway in with 16 remaining. We've got the two teams with the most victories this season, the Ravens with 4 and the Dolphins with 3, ready to battle it out. This game is going to be in Miami. In the third quarter, the Ravens lead 10-0. Lamar Jackson looks like he's going to take off, draws the defense in. He's able to get this pass off to Mark Andrews, who's able to run it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. The Ravens have extended their lead to 17-0, and in the fourth quarter, they absolutely blew the doors off, coming away with a 45-0 shutout victory. Miami may have been on a roll this season, but no team's on a roll like the Ravens. They take over the Dolphins' territory. They've won 5 games this season, and over the last 3 seasons of Imperialism, they have now won 20 games. The next spin of the wheel is going to give us the Buffalo Bills. They're heading east. So we're going to get this matchup on the field a little earlier than we do in Imperialisms. The Patriots will host Buffalo. The Bills have a chance to strike first. This is a 37-yard field goal attempt, but the Pats come after it and they will block the kick, pick it up, and eventually go down. This game is going to remain scoreless, but Buffalo has it again on the Patriot 29-yard line. Josh Allen looks downfield for Stephon Diggs, makes the catch at the 3-yard line. On the very next play, Devin Singletary will get it into the end zone. So the Bills get their touchdown after all, and they will get out to a 7-0 lead. The Patriots are going to have a chance to strike back now. They're in Buffalo territory, time winding down in the first quarter. The pitch goes to James White, gets around left end, picks up some good yardage here, breaks a tackle, he's still going, finally taken down at the 21-yard line. They're now facing a 3rd and goal. Cam Newton's going to try to keep it himself, has to cut back inside. The Bills will strip him of the ball. Mario Addison with the forced fumble, and the Pats get out of here empty-handed. They have another chance now. It's 3rd and 13 just behind midfield. Newton looks downfield for Demare Byrd, makes a nice catch, taken down at the 26-yard line. They pick up another first down, but are now facing 3rd and 20. Newton looks like he might want to pick this up, goes for Jacoby Myers. He does, but he will fumble as well. That is their second lost fumble inside the 10-yard line. New England is giving all their opportunities away here. We're now in the third quarter. It's still 7-0. The Pats have it in Buffalo territory. Newton goes back to Myers. He'll make the catch, hold on to the ball. Now the Patriots are going to settle for a field goal from 40 yards away. It's almost blocked. Nick Folk's kick is good, so the Patriots finally dent the scoreboard. It's 7-3. The Bills facing 2nd and 11 from their own 24-yard line. Josh Allen goes for Stephon Diggs, but it's intercepted by Adrian Phillips. So the Patriots are forcing their own turnovers now. Jarrett Stidham is in the game for an injured Cam Newton. He's looking to throw, goes for Jacoby Myers, but it's not really accurate, and Levi Wallace is able to pick it off. This game's got a lot of turnovers in it, but no one's taking advantage. Buffalo is now in their own 14-yard line. Allen stays in the pocket for too long, and John Simon takes him down. They're now backed up at their inside the 1-yard line, in fact. Here come the Patriots again, and it's John Simon with the safety. So all of a sudden, this game is now 7-5. The Pats move the ball after the free kick, but it's 3rd and 17, and Jarrett Stidham goes down in the hands of Jerry Hughes. The Bills move it forward, and they're going to try a field goal. Tyler Bass is feeling the pressure here. He gets it up, and it's no good. The Bills are having problems with their field goal unit today. The game remains 7-5. There's now 31 seconds left. Jarrett Stidham is in desperation mode, chucks it up for Jacoby Myers, makes an incredible catch at the 30-yard line. This is very makeable field goal range, but the Pats are going to send the offense back out on the field. This is a very risky play. From the Buffalo 30, only 8 seconds. This is it. Stidham has time, goes to the end zone for Demare Byrd, but it's incomplete, and by the skins of their teeth, the Buffalo Bills hold on and win this game 7-5. This is proof positive that a game doesn't have to be high scoring to be exciting. No touchdowns were scored after the first quarter, but it was nip and tuck the whole way. The Bills will take over the Patriots' territory, and they are a threat moving forward. Our next spin is going to bring out our defending Imperialism champions, the Minnesota Vikings. They dip to the southwest. That's going to hit the territory of the Denver Broncos. Denver has expanded 5 times already this season. Now they're taking the field. And they're receiving the opening kickoff, which Deontay Spencer is going to immediately fumble away. The Vikings get the recovery immediately. They're going to turn that into this touchdown pass to Adam Thielen. And later in the first quarter, this touchdown pass goes to Justin Jefferson. So the Vikings have immediately jumped out in Denver to a 14-0 lead. Denver has pulled back a field goal and now have the ball again, trailing 14-3 late in the second quarter. Drew Lock throws a pass, beautiful throw to Jerry Jeudy. He's able to get himself, nope, he didn't score. He's inside the 1-yard line. Melvin Gordon's going to do the mop-up work. Denver, who started this game off so terribly, are all of a sudden back in it. They trail 14-10. They did leave Minnesota some time here in the second half. 1:13's on the clock. Off the play action, Kirk Cousins looks deep to Justin Jefferson, makes the catch at the Denver 45-yard line. Minnesota get a field goal out of that. In the second half, now it's 17-10. Out of the shotgun, Drew Lock stands and looks, fires to Jerry Jeudy. He goes up, makes a great catch. The Vikings have trouble getting to him, but they get him down. Denver will get a field goal out of this themselves. It's 17-13. Minnesota wants to get back up by multiple possessions. From the Denver 35, Cousins looking deep, fires for Adam Thielen. That is gorgeous. Thielen with the catch, Cousins with the throw past the defender, and indeed Minnesota's back up 24-13. They have the ball now in the fourth, looking to put this game away. Kirk Cousins fires, but it's intercepted by Justin Simmons. Maybe should have kept the ball on the ground here. The All-Pro Simmons runs it back for the touchdown. Denver was not in a good place. All of a sudden, they're right back in it, trailing 24-20. Minnesota still nurses their lead here on 3rd and 1. They keep it on the ground to Dalvin Cook, and he's going to get himself a first down. Minnesota's got plenty of clock to continue to grind out. Facing a 2nd and 10 now from their own 46. They're going to throw again. Bradley Chubb gets in for the sack. On 3rd and 20, here comes Chubb again. Back-to-back sacks will give Denver the ball, and they've moved it into Minnesota territory. From the 39-yard line, Locke's feeling himself. He's going to go to Tim Patrick, makes the catch inside the 10-yard line. We have just about a minute left in this game. Denver's going to have 4 cracks at the end zone here. They're going to be throwing again. It looks like they only need one. KJ Hamler with the touchdown. Denver's in the lead for the first time with under a minute to go. But the Vikings will block this extra point, so they're only down 2 here. Amir Abdullah is getting himself a nice kick return here. They get him down at the 44-yard line. Only 38 seconds left, but they only need field goal range. Cousins in the passing game has been working. They go to Thielen, makes the diving catch in field goal range, and they're going to go ahead and bring Dan Bailey out for the win from 46 yards away. The kick is up. It hooks, no good, and the Broncos come from behind, then hold on to dear life to win this game 26-24. That was a bit of a wild game, but in the end, the Broncos got it done. They will take over the Vikings territory, and we are now guaranteed a new Imperialism champion this season. We've got a very close call on the wheel. It's just going to hit the Cardinals, and now we also need a photo finish. Let's go ahead and get a close-up photo finish to see that this arrow does indeed hit El Paso, part of the Saints' territory. Had that veered a little further west, it would have just been a respin. But we're getting this game, the Cardinals going to New Orleans to face the Saints. The Cards trail 7-0, but they're in the red zone. Kyler Murray tries to keep it, but Marshawn Lattimore comes in and strips the ball loose, and then Lattimore himself will also pick it up, picks up a couple of blocks in the backfield. He is absolutely, positively gone. Runs it all the way back for the touchdown. Gets the triple crown here. The forced fumble, the recovered fumble, and the return touchdown. New Orleans leads 14-0 in the first quarter. They cruise the rest of the way, beating the Cardinals by the exact same score that they beat the Texans earlier, 28-13. The Saints have won 3 games this season in Imperialism, scoring at least 28 points in all of them. They have to be one of the favorites going forward. They take over the Cardinals' territory, and 20 teams have now been eliminated. There really isn't a whole lot more room to expand anymore, but we did get 2 of them in there. We've got a game to go now, though. The Cleveland Browns head to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Cleveland receives the second half kickoff in a tied game. Dearness Johnson looking to get something going here, but Dean Lowry will knock the ball loose, and the Packers will recover. So in a tie game, they get the ball. Jamal Williams goes up the middle. He's not the fastest guy on the field, but he's fast enough to get this into the end zone. The Packers take advantage of Cleveland's mistake and get out ahead by a score of 21-14. The Browns are trying to get on the move here. It's 2nd and 3 at their own 22. Nick Chubb is swallowed in the backfield. Ball is loose, and this time Green Bay will pick it up and run it directly into the end zone. Kingsley Keke with the touchdown. That's going to open this game up. It's currently 28-14. The Browns couldn't get out of their own way, and the Packers poured it on, winning this game 49-27. Cleveland winning this game in Green Bay would have been an upset, but they had their opportunities. The Packers will take over their territory. 4 teams have yet to see the field. The Jets and the Seahawks have done some expanding, while the Chiefs and the Bears remain exactly where they started. The Broncos are bordered by 6 different teams, but the team with which they share the shortest border is who they draw. The Bears are getting on the field for the first time, hosting Denver. The Broncos trail in the first quarter and they're going backwards. Khalil Mack brings the pressure, the pass is off. Tashawn Gibson makes the interception. He's going to weave his way through the offense and get in for the touchdown. That's going to put the Bears up by a score of 10-0, and it certainly wasn't the last touchdown they would score in this game. They come away with a big 45-13 victory. Speaking of touchdowns, David Montgomery scored 3 of them, and Drew Lock, who looked so good in the Vikings game, threw 4 more interceptions in this one. The Bears will take over the Broncos' territory. They've just now made their entry into the game, but they seem to have at least one of the 3 biggest pieces of land. We're down to 10 teams remaining. The wheel lands on the Seahawks, and after getting in some expansion, they've got to play a game, and it's going to be against the returning Chicago Bears. We're tied at 7 late in the first half. Russell Wilson hands us off to Chris Carson. He's aiming for the first down. Kyle Fuller will force this fumble, and the Bears are going to recover it. They're going to have a chance to put some points on the board before the half is over. From the 35-yard line, Trubisky fires for Anthony Miller, but Quandre Diggs makes the interception, so nobody gets anything here. It's 7-7 going to the second half. It's now 10-7, and the Bears are forced into a punt. They're taking forever to get it off. It's not blocked, but it's very short. David Moore breaks a tackle on the return, gets away from another tackler, and puts Seattle in prime field position. On 2nd and 11 now, we're in the 4th quarter. Wilson drops back, goes for Tyler Lockett, uses his speed and agility to break through and get the touchdown. The Seahawks now take a 14-10 lead. Can the Bears' pop gun offense do anything? They have moved it into Seattle territory. From the 43, this pass goes to Allen Robinson, a gorgeous diving catch will set up 1st and goal. 3:57 left in the game, time not a huge factor. Trubisky is going to look for Robinson again, but he leads him way too far, and Shaquille Griffin makes the interception in the end zone. Seattle will now have a chance to salt this game away. They're facing 2nd down at their own 24-yard line. Play action rollout. Wilson goes to Lockett, makes the catch, gets well past midfield, taken down at the 35. Seattle still has more clock to burn. They're facing a 3rd and goal from the 7. Wilson has all day. He's using that time but can't find anybody. That pass falls incomplete. That'll bring out Jason Myers. 25 yards away. The field goal is almost blocked, but he gets it up and he gets it in. That makes it 17-10. The Bears can now tie with a touchdown. They're back up at their own 12-yard line. Trubisky has one main man and he goes to him. Allen Robinson makes the catch and picks up some good extra yardage. Getting past midfield here will make the clock a lesser factor, but there are only 54 seconds remaining. From the 40, who does Trubisky want? He wants Robinson, makes the catch, picks up just about half of the yardage they need. Time is getting closer now, 29 seconds to go. On the next play, Trubisky fires, the pass is knocked away and almost intercepted by the Seahawks. So there's only 16 seconds left, this might be it. Trubisky scanning the field. He's going to fire toward Darnell Mooney. Makes the catch in the end zone. 000 on the clock. That's going to make this 17-16. They will send out Cairo Santos for the extra point. He doesn't face any pressure. He makes the kick. And at the last grasp, the Bears are able to force overtime. We're tied up at 17. The Bears win the toss and get the ball first. From their own 30, Trubisky goes to Jimmy Graham, picks up a big 1st down. The Seattle defense has got to be completely spent. Now from midfield, they're going to hand off to their bruiser, David Montgomery. Cuts through the middle. Picks up 12 yards, another 1st down. They're now from the 29-yard line. The direct snap goes to Montgomery. No one's there to tackle him. He cuts to the outside, gets another 10 yards, and here from the 19-yard line, they are going to bring out Santos for what would be the game-winning field goal. He is lined up from 37 yards away. Can Seattle do anything about this? He has free reign. The kick is up and it barely goes in. Continuing the practice we've been seeing all Imperialism with that kick in overtime. The Bears pulled this one out 20-17. The Bears gave us a blowout victory in their first game. They gave us a thriller in their second one. They will take over the Seahawks territory, and for Seattle, that was quite a disappointing ending for them in this season's Imperialism. It's about time we get the New York Jets on the field. They're heading to the northeast. They had all that territory to hit the Ravens. Instead, they've hit the Bills. They're heading to Buffalo. Already leading 14-0 late in the first half, the Bills look for more. Josh Allen finds his tight end, Dawson Knox. He walks into the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to give the Bills a 21-0 lead, and the Jets were just helpless and hapless today. Buffalo steamrolls them 52-0. Thanks for coming, Jets. It was nice knowing you. The Bills will take over their territory. We have 8 teams remaining. In our first game, we lost our top-ranked team. That remains the only top 5 team to be eliminated. So they now represent half of the remaining field. We're ready to get one of those top 5 teams on the field. The Rams are selected on the wheel, and they've chosen to attack to the southeast. Once again, we see a team hitting a smaller border when there was a lot more available. The Rams head to New Orleans to take on the Saints. No score in the first quarter. The Rams are in their own territory. Cameron Jordan breaks through and gets Jared Goff down for the sack, his second of the quarter already. That leaves the Saints with good field position. They're facing a 3rd and 20. They're going to hand off to Alvin Kamara. He looks like he has a chance for the first down, but the Rams will get him down. To start the second quarter, Will Lutz will hit a 45-yard field goal. So that was an important run by Kamara. The Saints lead 3-0. The Rams are once again deep in their own territory. The Saints look like they want to bring the house here. That's exactly what they do. And Cameron Jordan has got a hold of Goff again. His 3rd sack of the game. That field position will result in a second Will Lutz field goal. The Saints are moving the ball but not breaking the end zone. They lead 6-0. The Rams are now in Saint territory from the 25-yard line. We're in the 3rd quarter. This short pass goes to Robert Woods, breaks a tackle. For the first time in this game, the Rams are in the red zone, and now they've got a goal to go. 3rd and goal from the 5. They're going to hand this off to Cam Akers. That goes absolutely nowhere. So the Rams are going to look to get on the scoreboard here. Matt Gay from 25 yards out will cut this lead in half to 6-3. Now the Saints have once again moved it in the Rams territory. Aaron Donald breaks through the line and gets the strip sack of Drew Brees, and he will pick up the ball himself, and the Rams are once again with an opportunity here. They have to settle for another field goal. From 44 yards out, the Saints bring the heat, but Gay will get it off, and he will put it through, and we're now tied at 6 apiece. Can the Saints get this high-powered offense into gear here? From their own 42-yard line, Drew Brees has plenty of time. Will settle for a check down. Jalen Ramsey is there for the interception. The Rams unbelievably have a chance to win this game now. They're set up at the 46-yard line. 1:39 left to go in the game. Jared Goff is going to float this pass beautiful into the hands of Cooper Kupp. He runs it down to the 15, but once again, they must kick this field goal on 4th down from 30 yards away. Gay puts it up, puts it through. The Rams have come back to take a 9-6 lead. The Saints have one last chance from their own 41-yard line. Can they do this? Brees is going to fire for Emmanuel Sanders, makes the catch, but time will expire, and the Rams fell behind 6-0, kicked 3 field goals, and win this game 9-6. An unbelievable performance here by the Rams defense. New Orleans had scored at least 28 points in each of their 3 games coming into this one, but they only got 6 here. The Rams will take over the Saints territory. We've now lost our second top 5 team. In fact, we've lost number 1 and number 2. And now we're going to be getting our final team to take the field. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to invade Chicago to take on the Bears. We've got a low-scoring affair here. The Chiefs lead 7-3 in the 3rd quarter. But Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill will look to change that. What a beautiful play across the middle. A 44-yard touchdown to give the Chiefs a 14-3 lead. And that was the kickstart they needed to start pouring the points on. They dominate the game, especially the 4th quarter, and win it 34-3. It may have taken them a while to get on the field, but they did so in style. The Chiefs will take over the Bears' territory. Every team remaining now has at least a 500 record, and all of them except the Raiders made it to the playoffs in 2020. We're getting ready for a heavyweight showdown here. The Bills are on the attack in Baltimore against the Ravens. This is a top 5 matchup. Buffalo goes nowhere on their opening drive and they're forced to punt. Instead, it's a direct snap to Devin Singletary. He about had the edge there, but the Ravens get a hold of him and get him down. The fake punt doesn't work. Baltimore takes immediate advantage. Marquise Brown races into the end zone. Touchdown Ravens. They've only had one play of offense and they already lead 7-0. The Bills are getting a more traditional drive going here. They're at the Raven 19-yard line. Under center, Josh Allen, play action, goes for Gabe Davis. He's breaking out, but he fumbles. Matt Judon tracks back to force the fumble, and Buffalo is shooting themselves in the foot here. The Ravens get a nice return out of that, and they turn this into the Mark Andrews show. He makes this great catch up the seam, and now from the 36, he makes another short reception, but uses speed and agility to get into the end zone. So the Ravens are pouncing on Buffalo's mistakes. They've taken a 14-0 lead. That's the score now in the second half. The Bills trying to get into Ravens territory. This pass to Stephon Diggs is going to get that done. He's able to carry this all the way into the Ravens red zone. They're now set up at the 18-yard line. The Bills are going to keep this going through the air. Allen finds Davis, and he makes up for his earlier fumble by getting into the end zone. The Bills have finally breached the scoreboard. They still trail, though. It's 14-7. Their defense is able to get him the ball back. They're facing a 3rd and 13 deep in their own territory. Allen gets the pass off, but it's incomplete. And they're going to be forced to punt here with the third quarter winding down. But it's a fake again. But this time, Devin Singletary is going to pick up the first down. And he is still going. What a way to end the quarter. What a play by the Bills. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Singletary, a 56-yard run on the fake punt, leading to this Stephon Diggs touchdown. Buffalo has fought back. They've stuck to their guns, tying this game up at 14 apiece. The Ravens have been stagnant in the second half, looking to get it going here. From their own 29, Lamar fires to J.K. Dobbins. Makes a nice catch, not known for his receiving chops. A couple of plays later from the Buffalo 33, Lamar's going to drop back again. He's going to Marquise Brown. Double coverage, doesn't matter. Baltimore said, we're back in this game. They've got this touchdown, and they now lead 21-14. Buffalo's getting on the move here. Short pass to Dawson Knox will pick up a first down. Now they're going to Diggs again on the comebacker. That's another first down. Allen's going to keep this one himself. Going down the sideline, dragging his way to another first down. They now have a first down at the 17-yard line. Allen looks downfield, goes for Diggs. The Ravens lost him, and he scores his second touchdown. With 1:36 left in the game, the Bills have tied this up. Baltimore is going to have a chance to take the lead and perhaps win the game. From their own 45-yard line, they're staying in the air. Lamar goes to Brown, makes the catch. That yak is putting them in the field goal range. And with time ticking away, they're going to bring out Justin Tucker for the 37-yarder. This kick looks like it's good off his foot, and it is. And with all that said and done, the Ravens will come away with this one after an exciting fourth quarter by a score of 24-21. That was indeed a heavyweight battle, and the Bills put themselves on quite the seesaw. But the Ravens will get the win. They will take over the Bills' territory. They're pretty much all that's left now in the East. 4 teams remain to the west of them. Can one of them halt this Baltimore momentum? Our push to the end continues. The wheel will land on the Kansas City Chiefs, and we're getting a photo finish here. All this tells us is that the arrow will bypass the territory of the Rams. Will it hit the Packers or will it hit the Ravens? We've got to make this arrow even bigger, and once we do, we see that it will just be hitting the Packers. We're getting another heavyweight matchup here. Green Bay is a top 5 team, and while Kansas City didn't make the top 5, they did make the Super Bowl. We're ready for this game coming to us from Lambeau Field. The Chiefs are facing an early 3rd and 16. They're at their own 35-yard line. Patrick Mahomes looks for Travis Kelce, picks up the first down, keeping the drive alive. They're now at the 29-yard line facing another 3rd and long. But they're good at converting these, and Mahomes is going to go for Tyreek Hill. He gets the first down and the touchdown. Kansas City scores first. They lead this game 7-0. Their defense gets them the ball right back. They're set up at midfield. The first quarter's coming to an end. Mahomes is going to go for Tyreek Hill again, but this time Adrian Amos is there for the Packers to make the interception. He gets himself a short return. More importantly, gives the ball back to Green Bay. On the first play after the pick, now in the second quarter, Aaron Rodgers looks to step up in the pocket. He lets it go last second to Robert Tonyan. Makes a great catch and a great run after the catch, getting the ball into Chiefs territory. A few plays later, they're now set up at 3rd and 5 from the 6-yard line. Rodgers looks, dumps it off to A.J. Dillon. He's able to do the rest, and the Packers have made it to the scoreboard. With this touchdown, the game is now tied at 7 apiece. The Chiefs are trying to move it now. They're in their own territory, 4 wide. The rush comes, Mahomes lets it go. Hill snatches that catch, makes another move, gets away from several different tacklers. What an athlete Tyreek Hill is. 53 yards on the play, but it's now 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is throttled in the backfield. They lose possession, but they've gotten it back. They're at the 40-yard line. Mahomes wants to go deep once again. Travis Kelce is there for the catch and the touchdown. That's why you go for it on 4th and short. You can always get another shot. The Chiefs lead 14-7 heading into the second half. The Packers have it. They're facing a 2nd and long. Rodgers is going to look downfield. Goes to Devontae Adams, caught at the 35. Does he have the speed to get into the end zone? They catch him. Not after a 61-yard gain, though. They're going to pitch this out to Jamal Williams, who's going to close the deal. The Packers have responded, and we're once again tied up at 14 apiece. The Chiefs' offense has made some big plays, but have otherwise not moved the ball consistently. At their own 15-yard line, maybe looking for another big play. Mahomes goes to Kelce, makes the catch, gets past midfield, finally dragged down at the Packer 40. They're now set up at the Packer 23-yard line. Green Bay's bringing the heat. Mahomes lets it go to Kelce. That's his man right there. Taken down inside the 10-yard line. Once again now, the Chiefs are on the goal line. It's 3rd and goal this time. And again, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is stopped. And this time on 4th down, it's a long one, a short 2. They've decided to bring out Harrison Butker for the field goal. This should be a chip shot. It's an extra point length. Puts it up, puts it in. That will give the Chiefs a 17-14 lead. The Packers have a 3rd and 11 at their own 29-yard line. Rodgers steps up and throws to Tonyan. This play worked before, it works again. Tonyan picking up some big yardage after the catch. Both tight ends are having monster days. A short gain on 1st down brings 2nd and 9. Rodgers again looks downfield for Devontae Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. For the first time today, they have taken the lead. The extra point will make it 21-17. Here comes Kansas City. They've got a 3rd and 10. They're going to actually run Mecole Hardman out of the backfield, and he gets stopped short of the 1st down. So here it is, 4th and 4. They're going to throw. Mahomes wants Hill. He's got him. They needed 4 yards, and Hill got him 24 yards. They've now moved it down to the 15-yard line, but once again, it's 3rd and long. They're going to try Edwards-Helaire. He is just short of the 1st down. Another 4th down conversion attempt here. They're going to try Hardman out of the backfield. He's got the first, but he stopped short of the goal line. Here's where Kansas City's having problems punching it in. It's 1st and just 2 inches, but Mecole Hardman will once again, his 3rd pitch of this drive, take it in for the score. 1:39 left. Kansas City has retaken the lead. Can the Packers tie or take the lead back themselves? From their own 40-yard line, Rodgers has plenty of time. He will go to Robert Tonyan. He will make another incredible catch down at the Kansas City 26-yard line. They're now set up at the 11, 41 seconds to go. The rush comes and they've gotten him down. Chris Jones with the big sack. So now they're at the 20-yard line, 36 seconds to go. Out of the shotgun, delayed handoff to Jamal Williams. Look like they're setting up for a field goal attempt, but instead Williams will take it in for the touchdown. The Chiefs did not look prepared for that. And very late in this game, Green Bay has retaken the lead. The Chiefs don't have enough time to do anything about it. The Packers win a thriller, 28-24. That was our second consecutive heavyweight matchup, and boy did it live up to the billing. To think this could have been, maybe should have been, Super Bowl 55's matchup. The Packers will take over the Chiefs' territory, and we've now come down to our final four. We're making our way out west. The wheel will land on the Rams. They're going to head straight north based on where they're located. They're heading on to face the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay has it first at their own 26-yard line. They try a delay to Jamal Williams, but Leonard Floyd will get the ball loose. Aaron Donald will pick it up and run it in for the score. What a start for the Rams. The defense has been opportunistic this entire imperialism. This time they translate directly into a touchdown. The Packers are going to be looking to respond. They're facing a 3rd and short, but they're looking to throw. Aaron Rodgers is going to go deep to Robert Tonyan. His great imperialism continues. He gets it down to the 19-yard line. They're now at the 4-yard line. It's 3rd and goal. The Rams back up the defense. The Packers respond with a run to Aaron Jones. And this Rams defense that didn't allow the Saints a single touchdown have now allowed the Packers to get one. They've tied things up at 7 apiece. Jones adds another touchdown. And then here he will add a 3rd touchdown. The Packers survive a terrible beginning to this game to get out to a 21-7 lead, and as it turns out, they had complete control the rest of the way. They will take the Rams out by a score of 38-16. This is now Green Bay's 2nd consecutive win after just taking out the Chiefs. They will take out and take over the Rams' territory, and based on the way this map is set up, they're going to have to also play in the next game. And it's not going to take long to find out who that opponent is. The wheel lands on the Raiders. They are enveloped by the Packers, so that's their only option. That will send the Baltimore Ravens for the 3rd consecutive season to the Imperialism title game. Will they play the heavily favored Packers or the upstart Las Vegas Raiders? Green Bay's got it going on here. They lead 21-7 in the second quarter. Aaron Rodgers escapes the pocket, flips this pass to Devontae Adams, makes a diving catch in the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to give Green Bay a 28-7 lead. For the second straight game, they fell behind 7-0 and made up for it in grand fashion, winning this one 59-14. And nobody sneaking into this Imperialism title game. We have the Packers with 5 wins and the Ravens with 6, who made it to this point. As we mentioned, this is the 3rd consecutive title game appearance for the Ravens, their 4th overall. Green Bay's making their first appearance since getting there in back-to-back seasons in 96 and 97. They're 2-time champions going all the way back to our first season. All we need to do now is spin the wheel and find out where this game's gonna be played. This spin's got some juice on it, but not quite enough to get off the Packers. So for the 3rd consecutive season, the Ravens will be hosting the Imperialism title game. Now, we've had them in the Packers uniforms this whole time, so we're going to have to make a switch. We're going to be putting them in the uniforms of the Buffalo Bills, who also use the 3-4 defense. The 2020 Imperialism Championship game, the Green Bay Packers at the Baltimore Ravens, begins now. Baltimore has it first at their own 20-yard line. They pitch it out to Gus Edwards. He hasn't seen the ball much, and maybe that's why. Jair Alexander forces the fumble. Darnell Savage picks it up. They've got him at the 1-yard line, but he gets away and scores the touchdown. The Packers do unto others as they've had done unto them. They score first. It's now 7-0. The Ravens are getting moving, though, from the Packer 33-yard line. Lamar Jackson throws the quick slant to Willie Snead, and he is able to just squirm his way into the end zone for the touchdown. That's going to quickly tie things up at 7 apiece. Green Bay has it now. They're facing a 3rd and 16. Both teams make changes at the line. They pitch it out to Aaron Jones, playing it safe, but he has a chance to pick up the first. Cuts outside, but they stop him short. Now Baltimore is facing a 3rd and 16. Quick pass goes to Mark Andrews, makes the catch. He's also short. This game is really starting to tighten up now. On 3rd down and 7, this pass to Devontae Adams is incomplete. Now the Ravens are facing a 3rd down. This is 3rd and 8. The handoff to Gus Edwards is smushed up in the backfield for a 4-yard loss. 3rd and 19 for the Packers. Rodgers looks for Jamal Williams, makes the catch, but he's short. Still 7-7. The Ravens are going to try it here on 2nd down. J.K. Dobbins makes another big catch. He had one earlier in Imperialism. But it's once again 3rd down. They're going to give it to Dobbins again, but he is stopped. So Justin Tucker will come out for the 48-yard field goal attempt. He puts it up, and he puts it in. With under a minute to go in the half, the Ravens have scored. It's now 10-7. The Packers facing 3rd and 14. Rodgers looks downfield, goes for Jamal Williams, his favorite receiver today. That's incomplete. So on 4th down, they're bringing out the punting unit, but the Ravens come up and block the punt. LJ Fort is going to pick this up. Can he run it back? He cannot. They've stopped him at the 13-yard line. Tucker will tack on another field goal. Our halftime score is 13-7. Now in the second half, the Packers have got a drive going. This pitch goes out to Aaron Jones. He's going to pick up a 1st down and quite a bit more. He's fighting hard for extra yardage, temporarily slips away, but finally gets taken down. It's 3rd down once again for the Packers, a much more manageable one at 4 yards to go, but the Ravens bring the house. That forces the quick pass that falls incomplete. Mason Crosby's going to come out now for the 34-yard field goal. The Ravens don't block it. The kick is up, and it's no good. The Packers offense has yet to score a point in this game. It's still 13-7. The Ravens are going to look to go for the kill here. They set up shop at the 20-yard line. This quick pass goes to Marquise Brown. He's got green grass in front of him. The Packers pursue and get him down at the 43-yard line. They've been sticking with the pass today. Let's see if they continue. They will. Jackson gets hit as he throws, but Mark Andrews is there for the touchdown. The Ravens have now extended to a 2-possession lead. They go for 2 and miss, so it stays 19-7. Green Bay needs to get going. It's almost the 4th quarter. They haven't scored on offense yet. Rodgers goes deep to Devontae Adams. That'll help get it going. The Ravens pursue, and they're going to get him down, but not before he gets into the red zone. Still time remaining in the 3rd quarter. 19-7. Rodgers once again wants to throw, and he goes to Robert Tonyan. What an imperialism this man has had. Touchdown Green Bay. We've got a game. They've sprung to life and cut the lead down to 19-14. It's 3rd down and 9 for the Ravens. Lamar wants to throw to J.K. Dobbins. He can't make another great catch. The Packers get it back, but they're forced to punt. J.K. Scott gets off quite a beauty here. James Prost back to receive at the 31. He looks like he's getting himself a pretty good return here, but he will lose the ball. His second big fumble in Imperialism. The Packers pick it up. They're running it down inside the 20-yard line. They've got a golden opportunity to take back the lead. Rodgers will go to Adams. He makes the catch, but he's taken down at the 1-yard line. The Ravens will be looking for a goal line stand here. On the first play, the Packers will throw, and Rodgers will find, unbelievably, Robert Tonyan. Touchdown Green Bay, his second, and they've taken a 21-19 lead. But the Ravens have shown that they can make comebacks. They're in their own territory. Lamar's got time, goes to Marquise Brown, catches at midfield and is able to get inside the 30-yard line. Here we go once again on third down, 3rd and 9. Lamar wants Marquise Brown again, but he's tackled short of the first down. And while a field goal would give them the lead here, they've decided it's not going to be enough, so they have to go for it on 4th down. A gutsy call. On 4th and 3, they're going to throw. They're going for it all, and Marquise Brown will score the touchdown. Their aggression pays off, and now the Packers cannot win with a field goal. It's going to need to be a touchdown. It's 26-21. Here comes the potential game-winning drive. From their own 28, Rodgers goes to the forgotten man, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He will pick up a first down. There is 1:22 on the clock. Out of the shotgun, Rodgers will look for Jamal Williams, knocked away, incomplete. 1:15 now on the clock. They're facing the pressure. Rodgers will scan the field, check it down to Jamal Williams. He's able to get it inside the 45. The Ravens' decision to go for the touchdown looks smart now. After a knockback from midfield, Rodgers will once again go to Jamal Williams. He's at the 39-yard line, but there's only 28 seconds to go. It's also the Packers' bugaboo here. It is 3rd down. They've got 4 wide. Rodgers looks downfield. He's going to go to Davante Adams. Will the Ravens catch him? They will not. Adams gets into the end zone. Touchdown Green Bay with 11 seconds on the clock. They kick the extra point. It's 28-26. The Ravens are going to have one last chance here. Devin Duvernay on the kickoff return. Gets it at the 19. Cuts in, cuts out. He's getting a good return. He's getting past midfield, but Green Bay will take him down, and they have completed the comeback, winning this game and winning the title 28-26. For the 4th consecutive season, our Imperialism Championship game has been an absolute barn burner. And unfortunately for the Ravens, that's now 2 years in a row that they've been on the losing side. This nation now belongs to the Green Bay Packers for the 3rd time, and they've spread these out. They won the first one in 1966, came back and won it in 1996, and now 24 years later, in 2020, the Green Bay Packers stand atop the Imperialism world. For those who watched Super Bowl 55 and may have seen every other Super Bowl or close to it, it's hard to say that it wasn't the lowest quality Super Bowl of all time, or at least in the bottom 5. The season that preceded it was considered exciting because it had lots of scoring, but as far as quality, no. Hardly any team had a full complement of players, except for the Bucs. They won this Super Bowl, but were one and done in Imperialism. This Imperialism title game, though, now that was quality. The Packers, who didn't get a proper home game for the real NFC Championship, took down the title over the Baltimore Ravens, who fell short for the 2nd straight season. And it was a tight, hard-fought game between the two actual teams. The Packers had themselves quite the roster, starting with this offense. Aaron Rodgers gets a lot of ink, and he's deserving of it, but he is also surrounded by a whole lot of talent. Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams made for a great backfield combo. Davante Adams did lots of damage, but the breakout here was Robert Tonyan at tight end. And of course, this offensive line is spectacular, specifically David Bakhtiari and Elgton Jenkins. But there is no weak link here. In general, the defense took a backseat to the offense, but they had some great performances as well. Kenny Clark was solid in the middle, and the Smith boys, Preston and Zadarius, brought the heat off the edge. But the secondary truly held it down, led by Jair Alexander and that safety combo of Darnell Savage and Adrian Amos. We had ourselves a few exciting games early on, including both Carolina Panther games. Nothing too bad in the way of blowouts outside of the Rams and Chargers game. But the excitement really ramped up in the second half of games, including the epic showdowns between the Bills and the Ravens, and then the Chiefs and the Packers, all leading up to the championship game, which for the 4th straight season was only decided very late. With the Packers' victory, they matched the Ravens for the season lead at 6 wins apiece, but Green Bay sits alone atop the standings. Buffalo, Miami, and New Orleans each picked up 3 wins. The Rams joined the Bears with 2 wins each, and for the Rams, that takes them from 4th to 2nd in the overall standings, surpassing the Cowboys by having 1 fewer loss. The Packers become the 6th team in the 70-win club, and on account of their astonishing 21-2 record over the past 3 seasons, the Ravens have shot up to the middle of the pack despite being absent for Imperialism's first 30 seasons. They top the list by winning 2/3 of their games, but as far as overall wins go, that still belongs to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was a long one. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ding that bell to be notified every time the channel releases a new video. Let's take one last look at the green and gold that garnishes the United States of America, with that classic Packers logo sitting right in the middle of it. They may look at the 2020 season as one that got away, so this makes for a little bit of redemption. They will be looking for the repeat next season, but there will be plenty of teams on their tail looking to prevent it. We look forward to having you join us for that. Thank you once again for joining us today, and until next time, I hope you have an awesome day.